or bring in Ted Seifried, our next guest, Zaner Ag Hedge. Ted, thanks for being on. All right, brother. What do you got for us? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty quiet day for corn. And I guess I'm not really disappointed about that. I mean, we've had some pretty good gains recently. So the fact that we're holding on to them, I think, is a positive sign. Wheat is a little disappointing that we're not following through on the consecutive key reversals higher. I mean, you really want to see some extension on that strength, but that's just not happening because wheat is just wheat. But the big ticket item today is the soybeans up 14 and a quarter. A lot of that I think is coming from the CONAB number. They dropped it at roughly another 2.5 million metric tons for that Brazilian soybean production. And now it's a little over 8 million metric tons below where the USDA is, which is a little bit of a larger number. So it's really kind of fueling the idea that the USDA does still need to come down, even though they've been extremely reluctant to do so. So that's just a spark to get a little bit more short covering from the funds that were record short. I'm also going to say that this is really technical in nature because, corn has run up within earshot of its 50-day moving average. Obviously, that's a big technical resistance level for corn. Beans had not done that yet. So now beans are kind of continuing or following through on the strength off the lows, getting closer to that big key resistance 50-day moving average. And for the moment, just kind of sitting tight. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we close in this neighborhood here today.
All right. Great stuff. Yeah, always lots there. That's for sure. Lots to unpack. All right, stay right there. We need to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more. But Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge. We're going to talk about the livestock when we come back to give you an idea of what that curve looks like. All right, let's bring back in Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge. Maybe he's got something to say about what these livestock prices are doing. We got about 90 seconds, Ted.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, Scott, as you know. And, when you talk about markets that have been overbought for a little while, as in the live cattle complex, you can just kind of trade sideways to fix that relative strength index. And that's kind of been what we've been doing. If you look at April live cattle, that chart just acts like it doesn't really want to break. It's holding up near the highs and maybe getting ready to make another run at it. However, I'm not completely convinced that we're out of the woods of a corrective move in the cattle complex because I look at feeder cattle and they kind of act like they could roll over to the downside. Fundamentally, I don't think anything's changed for me in the last few months for cattle. I think obviously we needed to come off those lows that we had in early December. But corrections in markets are pretty common, like what we're seeing in the grains, I suppose. Either way, I think you've got some healthy price action. Again, correcting those RSIs, correcting the overbought condition of the market that you have across the board in the cattle complex. In the meantime, hogs looking really good today compared to the last few days. It's been a really nice bounce off of this trend line support. We're now trading well above yesterday's high. It's a nice reversal higher day. You got to say that chart, while it is a wide-ranging upward trending channel, it does seem like it's still solidly in that upward trending channel, and it looks like in the shorter term, we could go back and test those highs relatively soon.
All right. That's perfectly timed. You've got a great internal clock there, Mr. Seifried. Appreciate all that great content. Ted's coming to us from Chicago. He's with Zaner Ag Hedge. We'll bring it back here to Nashville and hand it back over to Suzanne.
Thank you so much, Scott.